comms up. Get your comms up. The Panther Comms Podcast with Timmy VO.
What's good, Panther Nation? Timmy VO here with the Panther Comms Podcast. Going to have Dave on here in a second. We're going to talk about the NFC South schedule. Of course, the schedule dropped yesterday. So whenever you're watching this, this is Friday. Let's check it out. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another Panther Comms Podcast with Timmy VO here and my man Dave. I hope you guys are doing well. And we're going to talk about that schedule just popped off. And we're going to go we're going to go in a different direction. I know a lot of people doing their predictions, this, that, and the third. Yeah. We're going to focus on our division because, of course, we know if we win the division, our chances of going to the playoffs increases drastically. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to jump right into it, man. And so, folks, I'm going to try to pull up the schedule here for us, Dave. So how you been, Dave?
I've been doing well. Man. It's kind of exciting. We're definitely in the depths of the offseason now that we've gone past the draft and the schedule release has become, its own big thing. But now, it's all mini camps, and we're all, just wait for the preseason now,
Dum, 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 dum.
Yeah,
know, right?
The dog days,
Bro, we got the Falcons up first, man. Should we be sleeping on these guys or what?
I don't think so. I think that, when you look at the roster, you might think they're not much to deal with, but I think they're going to be a lot stronger than you think. They had a pretty decent defense last year. They had a strong offensive line, and I mean, they went out and got Bijan Robinson when they already had two capable rushers on the roster. So I guess, and they got Desmond Ridder at quarterback.
Right.
I'm guessing that they're going to run the ball down everybody's throat. That's got to be their game plan because – they had Al Geyer last year who topped 1,000 yards, was a good receiving threat out of the backfield. You got Cordero Patterson who they've unlocked as a Swiss Army knife. And then you draft a guy like Bijan Robinson who is essentially another Derrick Henry, but he catches the ball too. So, there's no secret what they're going for in Atlanta right now. So, I mean, I think they're going to run the heck out of the ball right at us. All day long in week one, and but I think we got a pretty stout front, with the 3-4 defense, with Shy Tuttle, with Derek Brown, I mean it's not gonna be as easy to go up the middle on us as in years past, you would think.
Yeah, I think that we haven't improved in that light, and of course, we got a linebacker core that can play downhill.
Yeah.
I guess we need to worry about them getting behind us in terms of our pass defense.
Yeah, and they got Drake London, who's fast, kind of came on towards the end of last year. It'll be his second year at receiver. They have Mac Hollins, Carolina guy. I like him, but he's a speed guy. Kind of had a breakout year, I think, for Las Vegas last year. They got Kyle Pitts, big tight end. He should be a real security blanket for Desmond Ridder all year long, you would think, And I'm waiting for him to have a breakout year. You think of O.J. Howard when he went to Tampa Bay and how he was supposed to be something big and he just never quite materialized into it. I don't think Kyle Pitts is that guy. He's shown flashes, and, man, he can go up over the top and get it. So, I mean, I think that'll be a problem. But, I mean, then again, they're going to pound the rock at us all day long, which I think is kind of a common theme within the entire division that we're going up against. I think we're zigging when everybody else is zagging. It feels like everybody else is kind of setting up for defense and run, kind of starting their rebuild or retooling or whatever you'd want to call it for all those teams like that way. And whereas, seems like for the first time we're going the passing route, I
think that's kind of a blessing in disguise. I guess you could say because if we're putting points up on the board, that negates their running offense, so to say. So it might be a good thing. I don't know, but Atlanta's definitely going to bring the rock at us.
Oh yeah, there's no way, man. I mean, why would you draft a guy that high like Bijan Robinson and not use the heck out of him? Now, after Christian McCaffrey and stuff like that, I'm not big on using a top pick on a running back. I'm not big on paying running backs, but man, they went out there and got him, and I mean he's solid.
Yeah.
He's as NFL ready as they come as far as a running back, So I mean, I expect him to tote the rock. He's probably you would think he'll probably be top 10, top 5 in carries this year. I mean, they're probably going to ride him because I mean, they got to let Desmond Ridder start slinging the rock all over the place, and which he might surprise us, but I would think they're got to give him a security blanket. They're going to give him things that he's comfortable with, and they're going to give him a decent running game. And he already has a pretty good offensive line. So, and don't sleep on that Atlanta defense. Like they weren't great last year, but they had flashes where they were really good, and they still got a lot of playmakers. They added Jesse Bates back there at safety. They still got a lot of veterans. In a division game like this.
Yeah, division games, you never know, folks.
You never know, man. You never, no matter how bad or good the teams are, you never know how it's going to shake out. But I think it's recently in schedules we've seen kind of we end kind of division heavy to where we kind of decide our own fate towards the end of the year. This is great, man. We're starting off with 2 division games. It's like we can come out and if we want to punch the division right in the mouth. And kind of grab a hold of it because last year we started off so bad. The only hope we had was to win the division. But gosh, man, you look all the way down the schedule and there's no game where you're like, yeah, there's no way we're going to win that one. I mean, it's
not a one.
I don't want
not now.
It projected to be like the 6th easiest schedule in the league. But man, I mean. Atlanta, New Orleans, Seattle, Minnesota, Detroit. I mean, who scares you all the way down? Like Minnesota might be tough. I guess Seattle will be tough. I don't know. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. But.
Yeah. I mean, folks, you guys can look at the schedule however you want to. But we're gonna focus on the division.
Yeah,
we're gonna focus on the division.
Yeah,
I feel you though, man. I'm like,
nah,
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm not. I mean, bro, I'm.
Like Dallas, maybe. Tennessee. Tennessee's a good team. They're a good team. But you're going to bring Tannehill or Willis or Levis at quarterback?
I'm gonna tell you right now, if a team with a stationary quarterback against our pass rush with the potential, considering we added the coordinator that really likes to get after people in that 3-4. I'm telling you, bro, I'm not scared at all, bro. I'm like for real, toe to toe. But all right, so we're going to the Saints.
Yep,
that's week 2. We don't have to worry about Drew again. We don't have to worry about. Well, we still have to worry about Calvin, but I mean, but what do you think, Dave?
Derek Carr is probably the best quarterback they've had in a while. I don't think he's leaps and bounds better, but he's solid. And I think with the roster that they still have, they had a top 10 defense last year. So you can't forget about that. They still got Cam Jordan. They still got who is it? Derek Davis, the Demario Davis. I'm sorry, Matt Thau, the Honey Badger. They bring back the majority of their defense that was a top 10 defense last year. And they were hard for us to get through last year. You got Derek Carr. You still got Kamara. They still got Michael Thomas, Olave, who had a breakout year last year. I mean, they got some dogs on that team. I think I think they'll be our best competition for the division title. Not discounting Atlanta, but kind of wait and see on that, man. There's a whole lot,
right.
Depends on what happens with Desmond Ridder and how all that plays out for them. Because they still got in Atlanta, they still have Taylor Heineke as a backup. So, I mean, if Ridder defaults down there in Atlanta, man, I wouldn't think that they'd be scared to turn to Heineke, man. That guy's a gamer. But like I was saying, with the run game, they got Kamara, but they also signed Jamal Williams out of Detroit. How they let that guy go, I don't even know. But that's a touchdown machine. So like Atlanta, they're going to be running the heck out of the ball. But they got a decent quarterback, a veteran who can move the ball around, and guys that he can move it around too. So I think they're going to be a little bit tougher on offense than they've been the last couple years. They haven't really been that scary with Jameis or Andy Dalton, our guy Andy Dalton, back there throwing the ball around. I feel like they're going to be a lot more dangerous with Derek Carr. It's just the coaching in New Orleans that doesn't impress me. His name escapes me right now. I can't remember his name, but there you go. Yeah, he wasn't that good of a coach, right? I thought he did an okay job last year, getting handed the reins of a team like that, but I don't know. It's just not. It's not the Saints of the years past. So I guess we'll see what they do with it. But I mean, it's not. They're not like an offensive juggernaut. They don't have an offensive genius, like Sean Payton back there anymore. So I mean, it felt kind of underwhelming last year. I was surprised that they kept the coaching staff on, but I think the improvement of the defense as the year went on and everything kind of made them feel like they would stand pat. But I mean, I feel like they're kind of treading water when, we're kind of trying to make moves to set ourselves up for the future to kind of grab a hold of this division.
Facts. Dennis Allen was their coach from last year.
Dennis Allen, thank you. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the guy, but there are just some coaches that seem like they are better coordinators than an actual head coach.
That's very true.
He's a great coordinator, and I think he's proven that. But I think he's still up in the air on how he works as a head coach with his team. But hey, I'm all for it, man. Bring it back, run it back, guys. Last year, that's fine.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Give us two W's real quick.
Yeah. I mean, it puts us in a good spot where we can not only start off 2-0, hopefully, but we would all already have the division by the balls at that point. So
exactly, and it'd be great to go into week 3 with a 2 W in the division momentum too, bro. That confidence does wonders for a locker room.
Yeah, because I mean, if there's kind of a tougher patch that we're going into, Atlanta, New Orleans. Right after that, we're going Seattle, Minnesota, Detroit, Miami.
Seattle.
End of the bye week. Yeah, so I mean, it's three of those 4 next games are all away games. So I mean, if ever there was a part that would kind of you be iffy about the schedule, I guess that will be the part. That seemed to be the part they were really leaving out in the leak yesterday. Was that 3 to 5 spot? But I mean that could be. That's got to be big for, because, I mean, the Seahawks might be tough. They're bringing back Geno Smith. They're going to do what they do. Minnesota's bringing back most of the same team. Detroit, which they drafted a running back too. And then Miami, they were pretty solid last year. So but then we go into a bye week, and then we come out against Houston. Then we come out against Indiana. Then we go to Chicago.
November 9th, man.
Oh man, I wanted so bad to get the Colts or the Texans week 1. Go ahead and get a rookie quarterback matchup out of the way. I feel like by week 8 or 9, it may not have the same panache that it had earlier in the season. You know what I mean? By then, Houston might be 0-7. Indiana might, could be 1-8. Yeah, we might be. Who knows?
It might take longer to get things going with the coaching staff and their expectations with the players and the communication. I mean, it could be. We have all new coordinators that have never worked together before. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
no matter how good the coaching staff is, no matter how good and smart the players are, you still have to go through that installation process. There's still going to be hiccups and a few mistakes and everything, but I'm a lot more comfortable with this coaching staff correcting said mistakes than I was with the previous one. I mean, at least we kind of, we know what we got. We don't know what we have, but we know what we're going for now.
Right. I don't think we had that. I don't think we had that type of luxury with Rule. It seemed like he was always blowing smoke because you didn't see the shit on the field. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with this coaching staff, I now the tail is going to be in the tape, obviously, especially when you look at their in-game adjustments, because that was something Rule really sucked at. It didn't matter the coordinator, although from an offensive standpoint, that is, although it's defensive too because of last year. Which McAdoo did an okay job with in-game adjustments on offense here and there. Our defensive adjustments were decent here and there, but consistency that's what I'm looking for with this coaching staff. And again, in-game adjustments are really going to tell the tale on that front. So
yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I kind of felt like McAdoo's hands were tied a lot of the time at the beginning of the year. When he was in there sweating and he had that sweat towel going and all that stuff, it was, and he had things clicking. It was pretty good, but it just seemed like, I don't know if he was overthinking it sometimes, or sometimes he just wasn't sweating enough into the sweat towel, or what. Sometimes it just wasn't working and it wasn't consistent. It'll be, I can't imagine that our team isn't going to come up with some just, and I might be a dreamer, but you would think it's going to be some pretty amazing offensive stuff that they're going to scheme up. I mean, they're not going.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, they're not going to come up with a bunch of vanilla stuff. And I mean, and obviously we don't have a team like a ground and pound kind of team like we were running last year. I mean, I think we can pound it, but man, I think that offense could be wide open for us. Okay, and I think that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. But I don't think we ever really had that.
I know. Chud. Cam's rookie year. I think that's the last time we really, really saw that.
I love that. With the 2 tight end sets and all that stuff, I loved it. Man. I don't. That guy must have been such an asshole. I don't know. I mean, because I thought he was a great coordinator, man. But golly,
oh man. My God!
Nobody wants. He must be doing something if you don't want that offensive mind in your room.
Yeah, he banging somebody.
Yeah, man. But I love that. Yeah, I love that. But it's I'm good with the ground and pound defensive identity. But this is neat. This is really cool. I think our wide receiver room is really underrated. I'm not saying they're top 10, top 5 kind, but it's we got a quarterback. We got a quarterback that loves to spread the ball around.
Yeah, he doesn't have any biases. I mean, if you're open, you're getting the ball, bro.
Got hands all day long. Got hands all day long, man. Mm-hmm. So, and Hayden Hurst at tight end. I mean, it's just it feels like we got a lot of weapons. Miles Sanders coming out of the backfield. Chuba's learning how to catch the ball. I mean, it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting.
I mentioned last week Chuba's shown some good signs when working with CMC, and you can tell he got coached up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay.
All right, man. All right, man. So it begs the question, right?
It begs a lot of questions.
Could you take decades of futility, knowing your team is one of the worst teams of all time, but you still get 2 Super Bowl titles out of it? Or would you rather just be good and not get the Super Bowl titles? It's like, I have a Tampa Bay friend that is just fine with his 2 Super Bowl titles, and he's he understands the price of being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and that's just
he's
what
been there. Yeah, I feel you.
But I mean, they still got really good receivers. They still got Mike Evans. Mm-hmm. They still got Russell Gage, Chris Godwin. They still have a decent offensive line, but they've got Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask and John Walford. They've got a running back. Mm-hmm. They have Rashad White, who I'm not sleeping on. He had his moments. Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn, Patrick Laird. Man, look. they went all in the years that they had Brady to get what they had. They knew what was coming. They knew that this was going to be – they were going to have to break it down. They had a lot of high-paid guys. They still got a lot of veterans on defense. They still got Vita Vea. They still got Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. They still got one of the best linebacker cores in the whole league. They got Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, if they have anything, they got a defense. I don't know what they can do on offense with with the players that they have, but they still got a stout defense. So you can't overlook that.
No.
I would imagine they're going to run the ball a lot. I can't see them. I mean, maybe they're going to let Baker sling it to Godwin and Evans a lot, but the Kyle Trask.
I mean, I'll tell you this. Yeah,
you would think that this year they're aiming to get who was it, Caleb Williams out of USC or Drake May out of Carolina. Yeah, I mean, they're going for that top 2 pick, man. They're trying to get their franchise quarterback. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyle Trask in there. And then, you know, where we play them in the schedule, we play them last game of the year. What are they going to be playing for at the end of the year, man? You wouldn't think anything. So hopefully we'll be in a good position.
We might be playing for something.
Yeah, we might be playing something. We might be resting players by then. Or we might be playing for something. Who knows? But I mean, just the way the schedule shakes out, and like I was talking about how the years past we finished real division heavy. We finished all our division games, or most of our division games, week 13, 14, and 15. Tampa Bay, yep. New Orleans, Atlanta. Yep. That's our knockout punch right there. We can decide our entire playoff future in that whole 3-week span there, potentially. You know, if we put ourselves in a good enough spot. Yep. I mean, that could be the knockout punch right there. 3 straight division games. I don't know. I like how the schedule's kind of shaked out. I like it. I like that we don't have to have the division games at the end of the year. I like punching them in the mouth in the beginning, punching them in the mouth towards the end. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they'll just all be laid out at the end, and we'll be sitting at the top of the mountain.
Hopefully, man.
I mean, a lot of it goes on Bryce Young, and you know they named Andy Dalton the starter and all that stuff. But I think that's just you know,
right,
coach speak at this point.
Yeah,
I'd love to see. I don't want to mess Bryce Young up, but I'd love to see him out there week 1, man.
Oh, well, if he makes that kind of impression on this coaching staff, now I'll be more than happy to be behind that. Tell you that. I have a lot of faith in this coaching staff when it comes to the QB position. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I saw a stat on Bryce the other day, and you know he does so well under pressure, and he makes such good decisions while he's under pressure. But the stats would suggest that he brings all that pressure on himself. I think it was 3 seconds per drop back, which was tops in college football last year among all quarterbacks, not just draft eligible quarterbacks, all quarterbacks, every single one. He held the ball longer than anybody else, which in Alabama, you might have the protection to be able to do that and everything. But he makes the right decisions when the ball comes out. You know, it's the other stat is so I mean it's things like that I feel like the coaching staff will work with him on, because 3 seconds is a long time in the NFL.
You're not going to see 3 seconds.
No, never. You're not
going to see 3.
Unless you're like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or something, you know. Like I don't even know that they had that kind of time.
Nah, they don't. With that, I think Tom had one of the quickest releases. I mean, not releases, but quickest throws out of the pocket for most quarterbacks over almost a decade, man. I mean, it's those guys who have been in systems or just that really good at interpreting information. Him, Rodgers. I mean, they get the ball out, dude, and it's always on point, and they always know where their guys are going. That might be where Bryce excels, because he's very intelligent.
Yeah.
And he has a great knack for putting the ball in particular places once he makes his mind up. But like you mentioned, you're not going to see 3 seconds, son. I mean, I don't. And his willingness to get rid of the football to people who are open and not just a particular player, that's gonna come out well for us too.
I like that. Yeah, he has no problem looking at his 3rd, 4th, 5th reads. You know, he's not a 1-2 read run guy. You know, throw it away guy. You know, he goes through his progressions, and you know, he's very cerebral about the game. You know, I was high on Anthony Richardson, but I don't think we were at a point right now to where we could take on and develop. I feel like we have the staff to do it. Mm-hmm. I think he's found a great home with Steichen up there in the Colts, the offensive coordinator from the Eagles. I think he's going to do great up there. But I think the position we are in right now, yeah, that's the kind of guy we need. Good decision maker, very cerebral, Ball comes out, goes to the right spots. I love it. I'm in love with the pick. I haven't bought the jersey yet, but
I'm not gonna buy the jersey until I get at least 3 seasons out of them.
yeah, there you go. You want me to throw together, man?
I mean, you excuse me. You see those jerseys back here, folks. I mean, outside of Keyshawn, because my last name's Johnson, so that's why I did that shit. But Rutgers in there for a reason.
Yeah. I wear my old ones more than I do my new ones. The only new one I got is Jeremy Chibb, but I love a safety. Yeah. I love a hard-hitting safety. So
I dig it.
I go out there and get it. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Davis would be my next jersey because we all know.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah. Yeah, I used to go jersey crazy. I can't do it now.
Good
Lord.
I got those when I was still working in the retail world.
I know. Yeah, I remember when you got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit's expensive, bro.
Yeah.
So, hey, we'll go ahead and put that out there. I mean, we're not going to go through the schedule as a whole, but go ahead and give us your prediction, man.
Man, it's really tough. It's tough to go out there on a limb and say which games I think will win. There are going to be some growing pains. I'm sure of it. Rookie quarterback, new coaching staff, everybody learning new stuff.
Yep.
And like I said, week 3, 4, 5, 6, that could be a really tough spot for us to try to tumble at. But man, I mean, I don't see it being out of the question that we can come away with 9, 10, 11 wins this year. I mean, just
wow.
You think about, I know, but you think about what we're going up against. I mean, if you just go through it real quick, you got the quarterbacks we're going to face: Desmond Ridder, Derek Carr, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to face a rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud, probably a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields in Chicago, Dallas, Tennessee. Who knows who's got to be a quarterback? Baker or Kyle Trask in Tampa Bay, then Carr again, then Desmond Ridder again, then Jordan Love, then Trevor Lawrence, and then back to Tampa Bay again. So, I mean, our defense on the field is beast.
It's not a pass defense that we need to worry about. It's our run defense.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think all those teams can run the ball. But
you're right. You're absolutely right, too. We got Cook still in Minnesota. Seattle's notorious for running the football. The reason we beat them last year was because we stopped the run. Dallas is going to run the football. You got payback coming from Chicago because they got to run it back and DJ. So they're going to try to pound it on us. Green Bay in December. Yeah. Yeah. If we stop the run, bro, I see you. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question, man. I mean, not to put the cart before the horse, but I mean, I think we got a really good team. I think we're set up for a really good season. And if we don't make the playoffs this year, if we're not at least first or second in the division, something really went wrong this year. Injuries be damned. I think we got a really good team, but we'll just cross our fingers, man, and hope everything works out for the best. Because, I mean, look, I'm excited about the defense. I'm excited about the offense, but I think our defensive coordinator could do some really great things because I think we're solid all the way on defense. We're solid on the line. We're solid at linebacker. We're solid at safety. We're solid at cornerback a little bit. But, I mean, there's such an X factor in Jeremy Chinn and where he plays. If he plays as an inside linebacker, a strong nickel, or if, you saw his rookie year, what he could do when you put him on the ball. So, you put him in a box.
He's such an X factor.
I'm comfortable with him being in the box, man. It's just, it's all about matchups in the NFL, man.
It really is.
You don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, so to say. So it's a lot of teams seem to run a lot of 12 personnel when it comes to offense. He belongs in the box, bro.
Yes.
He belongs in the box.
Yeah. There's no reason to put him on the back line of the defense, man. He's got a nose for the ball. I mean, you saw it with the recovered fumbles. You see it. He's just knows where he's the right place, right time. You can't coach that. You're either that guy or you're not. You know.
He has great instincts.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. The only weak spot I see on our defense is that other edge rusher spot. I felt like DJ Johnson was a reach. I would have rather, gotten an edge rusher with that second round pick. I think Mingo will be great. We'll see if he realizes his talent.
I hope he's great because we're going to be using him.
Yeah, I feel like he could be
he's going to get some touches early.
Yeah, he could be our Swiss Army knife. So I mean, I'm excited about it, but there were some edge rushers on the board there that could have made an impact year one. And DJ Johnson, I feel like, even though apparently he played tight end too in college, man. He ran a 4.49. I'm not knocking the guy, but I feel like he needs some development and may not be ready to go right off the bat. I feel like Haynes might be better suited for a 3-4 edge rusher. I had already said that I think Gross Matos he's such a tweener. He's not the right size for the edge in a 3-4, and he's not the right size to be the defensive end in a 3-4. So we'll see how that works out for him. But I mean, as much as we've gone out and signed veterans, good veterans, and put them in smart positions, I can't think that we're not going to go out there and get a Leonard Floyd or somebody like that. Pick him up on a 1-year deal. He's still out there. Give that dude a little bit of money. Bring him in. He's already familiar with the defensive coordinator. Like, bring dude in, man. Even if it's on a 1-year deal, like Hassan Reddick did. Do it. We need something coming off that other side, man. And I feel like this defense would be complete, Because, I mean, I think Frankie could come off the edge, but he might be inside. But, I mean, if they're going to be bringing Chin in on the inside, too, in the box, I guess sometimes they'll be moving Frankie to the outside. And he's insane and fast. I think he'd be great out there. But
I mean, that might be the case, bro. How it is during this time of the season, going up until week one of the preseason games. Teams all over the league are cutting people, letting people go. They didn't have a roster spot, so to say. So they might be sitting on their hands right now, looking for a gem in the rough, so to say, and kind of lean on
it out. Yeah.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Like, bring me in, man. Let's get this defense rolling, man. Yeah.
Has Clowney signed with anybody?
No, but
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Clowney, but I mean, he's better than some,
I feel like at this point he's more name than production. He has made a long career off of knocking the hell out of that dude in Michigan. You know what I mean? I mean, oh my God, the amount of money he's just made off of just that.
Just off of that, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if we brought him in, and he's a South Carolina guy, but
exactly.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other guys. Frank Clark, I think, is still out there. Right. There are a lot of guys that could really make an impact on the other side of Brian Burns.
Right.
And I feel like that's our biggest glaring hole, because I felt a little iffy about our offensive line depth, but then we went out, we re-signed Cam Irving, swing tackle. You know what I mean? Last time we signed him was as our starting left tackle. Now we're signing him as a backup swing tackle. That's great. Re-signed Michael Jordan, our top scorer from Week 18 last year, at guard. So drafted that guard out of NC State. Still got Cade Mays. I mean, we've got sufficient depth on our offensive line. And our team feels pretty deep and damn near complete. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, we're just missing a couple spots, man. If we can see what the results are going to be with this the secondary group, man, I feel a lot more comfortable. But the offense, I'm really not worried about offense whatsoever. And looking at the schedule, I see what you mean by 10-11. I can see that. It's it's the league. It's hard to say, man.
We're all pro football players. Yeah, we're all NFL players. Yeah.
Talent-wise, bro.
Nobody likes losing.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So So I assume we're in a good spot. But I mean, that's, I feel like that spot right there to the division could be, Knight's right hook in the 8th round that kind of puts you back on your heels. You know what I mean? And
we need that. The fans need that too.
Oh man, the fans need it so bad, man. I've been a season ticket holder for 7 years now, man. We haven't been to a playoff game yet. We're dying for it, man. Yeah.
I feel y'all. PSL owners, I feel y'all. I'm not a PSL owner,
so I don't have to pay like triple the price for a playoff ticket, and I haven't seen a playoff ticket yet. So
say word.
They've sent us the playoff stuff. Like, hey, you want to go ahead and pay for it last year? But it's like, we ain't even in there. Yeah, man.
It's got to end, folks. It's ending this year, man. It
does, man. It does.
I like the schedule. I like her schedule.
I do. Schedule got me more hyped than I think its schedule really should. But they've done a good job hyping up that event, making it more of a thing. You know what I mean? It's like their last big hurrah going into the dog days of the offseason. So, I mean, I think the NFL's done a good job with it. And if you haven't seen the Tennessee Titans schedule reveal video, go check that out. I think they did solid with that. Their social media team is on fire. They went out on Broadway Street, asked a bunch of randoms that didn't know football, what team is this? So go check that out. That's good stuff.
Nice. Well, all right, Panther fans. I appreciate you guys once again for checking out Dave and myself on the Panther Comms podcast. I guess next time we'll be talking about just things that are popping up throughout the Panther organization and things of that nature. We don't try to come on here and just talk fluff. We actually want to come on here and give you guys some content on some real shit. No, not just let's make a podcast. No, we want to come on here and have a conversation, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys very much. Do you want to say anything else, Dave, before we sign off?
Oh man, just let's get excited, man. We got a good team. We got a good team in place. Got a good coaching staff in place, man. It's exciting, man. Let's get on with it. Enjoy our summer and get ready for some Panthers football coming up, man. I'm ready.
Right on, man. Right on.
Ready.
All right, Panther fans. Appreciate you guys. And as always, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, folks.
Yeah. I can't wait, man. God damn.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. I'm excited. Yeah.
Panther Comms podcast is brought to you by the love and respect for all Panther Nation and Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. Get your comms up. The Panther Comms podcast with Timmy VO.